Peace, welcome to my video. This is the 9-month and 20-day check-in with no nicotine. I'm Morgan Ross Alexander, currently a recovered nicotine user of 5.5, 6 years. And as well, I am a teacher of the spiritual, physical, emotional, and mental states of being. Thank you for clicking on this video. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the support. So let's get into this. Spiritually, why do I think you should quit nicotine? Well, spiritually, there's no connection between drug use and spirituality. It is that case. That doesn't mean that doing whatever you want and not maintaining soul awareness or a spiritual conscious is the right way to go about your spiritual state of being, which, if you don't understand, can lead you to being non-aware as others who understand that spiritual gifts and spiritual strengths are not expressed. They're not expressed in lower awareness beings, for example, animals, insects, etc. They are not necessarily able, because of their awareness, their level of awareness, to access the spiritual realm and to access their spiritual power and their spiritual strengths and gifts. So if you are doing something that you don't agree with, that you're giving off as an offering, and something that's not truly who you are, yet you take it on and you put spiritual power behind it, even though you don't know you do this, then that's how you could be hindering yourself. And I don't want that for anyone. So I'm just putting that out there, just letting you guys know that don't just compensate doing things that make you physically feel good, emotionally feel good, and mentally feel good, and then totally disregard spiritually feeling your best and spiritually stepping in your power, because you don't want those overriding and not even paying attention to your spiritual system or your spirituality in general. Once you are locked into a more physical and non-aware but knee-jerk and reaction and just reaction, animalistic reaction off of things, and not being able to have that spiritual perspective of what it all means, tying all these together and how I can understand all states of being as one. Mentally live at peace when you quit nicotine, knowing in your mind that you should not have to deal with the constant thoughts of, when's my next hit of nicotine, when am I gonna get a head rush next, do I want to quit nicotine, do I not want to quit nicotine? I'm telling you that it's up to you, and once you make that choice, you made that choice mentally, it makes it a whole lot easier, because you know that you're not going to have to deal with the constant repetitive thoughts of, oh my gosh, the frantic thoughts of, let me hit my device, let me have this thing next to me no matter what, to where you start to use it as a mental vice where you can't even go anywhere without it. You can't do anything without it. And, you don't want to be putting yourself in a compromising position like that, where you can live free in a mental state of being without any of those thoughts, right? If you choose to have that decision, then that's what you choose to make with your decision. And that's what you're going to end up getting out of that. So if you are finding that you have some mental issues or anything in the mental state of being that you want to, improve, that once you do quit nicotine, you won't have to worry about it again mentally or physically, spiritually, or emotionally. You can put it in your past, and you can just treat it as far as you trust it. Physically, I'm saying that for the world and the state that the world is in, I know personally, with the mind that I have, I'm able to kind of think down the line and see how it would have gone for me, and then be able to apply that to others. Not putting that on other people and not thinking that I know what's right for them, but just seeing what kind of state of being are these people in, versus myself extended that far. And I'm talking about people that, grew up, they were having a great time in high school, partying, getting into substance use. But the main thing is just doing things that aren't truly right for you and that aren't really aligned for you, rather than just telling you, oh, you should be doing this or you shouldn't be doing this. It's about what's actually right for you. And there's people that have gone on, I think 3 years past graduating high school and have continued the same behavior as in high school. And a lot of it, I noticed, had gotten a little bit like continuous. Like, some people are being aware of their actions and maybe not being abusive of their bodies, and maybe paying attention to what they're doing and stuff like that, which is good to be practicing in moderation. But it needs to be said that once you do move on from that long time of doing anything, being in a cycle of anything, once you move on from that,
Shopify gives you powerful analytics to run your business smarter, pinpoint trends, measure performance in real time, and so much more. Shopify, the commerce platform designed for entrepreneurs.
once you go through that long cycle of partying, long cycle of drug use, long cycle of really just acting like, there's no hard parts of your reality, and just rewarding yourself on a constant basis, pretty much spoiling yourself with these experiences that you think you're going to have forever. But I'm telling you right now, I had to deal with it myself when I quit nicotine, that physically your actions and the cycles that you're in, you're going to feel that resistance once you stop doing that. So be aware in the times that you do continue to do these actions, that, hey, one day the time's gonna come where I need to grow. The time's gonna come where I'm gonna need to move on from this. And even if you move into another chapter of your life, you can still have healthy boundaries and be able to stay attached to maybe some people that you did in the past experiences, and that's only if it's right for you, right? It's about what's right for you, not telling you what you should do, what you shouldn't do, but basically what resonates with you. So physically knowing that your actions and your repetitive actions can hinder you in all ways, including on your spiritual journey, which you don't want that to have an effect over you. And that's just me looking out, because I know that that's not in my reality right now. And a lot of people think that when you're young, you should do the partying, you should do all the drugs that you can, you should do all the crazy experiences that you can. But who's to say that that's right? It's not to tell you what's the right thing to do, what's the wrong thing to do, but it's what's right for you. Is it the right thing for you to go out there and destroy your body and to totally look completely different than who you are when you came into this world, and to have self-abusive or self-addictive actions and stuff that you're compensating everything just to feel good on a day-to-day basis, and you don't have any way of, delayed pleasure or delayed gratification? Well, maybe you implement that and you realize that, let me actually put in the work, and then feel later along in life, then I can feel comfortable. I can feel like I have the structure and the safety and everything that I've needed to build the security of, being able to say that I'm successful now. Now I can reward myself, right? Now I can experience what I've wanted to experience for all along. For example, if you do all those things at a young age, then who's to say you're gonna peak when you're, in college or when you're going out of high school? So just be aware, guys. Don't just be doing things just to fit in with the crowd when you know it's going against you. Always choose yourself and know that you can continue to grow regardless of your actions. You can continue to grow. So that's physically. That's just a reminder. Anyone out there going through it, know that the power is in your hands and that you can create the reality that you want to create. Emotionally, don't possibly use drug use or substance use, especially nicotine, to protect or hide from deep feelings or deep insecurities. And I see this in a lot of people that use nicotine. There's this thing that kind of it almost controls them. And I know it's just the urge to light up another cigarette or the urge to buy another vape or hit a vape or something like that. But it shouldn't be something that's consuming you as much and the number one thing in your reality, because you should be prioritizing yourself. And if you don't prioritize yourself, then you have emotions and you may have inner insecurities that you're not dealing with, that you just, you put them to rest. You pretend that they're not there by just hitting your nicotine. And oh, look, all of a sudden I feel good again. That stuff's not there. Well, that's not true. Once you quit, you're going to be able to deal with that stuff. But who's to say that you're not shoveling things away and just pretending like they don't exist just for the convenience of your other states of being, knowing that you're still neglecting a specific state of being, like your emotional state? But that's true. Don't do this, because I also, like I was saying, I see them, they'll have a device with them and they'll just carry it with them like it's, a holy accessory, like God crafted this themselves, and that's just a joke. But what I'm trying to say is just to be aware of how your actions are going to affect your states of being, as well as if you're dealing with any issues, any stress or anything like that, emotionally, physically, mentally, and spiritually. Know that you can get through this. You can get through anything that comes your way. And just, look at me. I thought I would never stop using nicotine. I thought that I would continue to do the actions that I had done in high school, and the repetitive actions that just weren't really aware, were nothing about really anything that had to do with reality. And it's just looking out for that, because I can see, like I said, I have the mind where I'm able to see, what kind of state would I be in had I been here and then continued to go this way, when in reality I went this way. And I'm just looking out, knowing that difficult times can be dealt with all people, because I dealt with difficult times. There's no times where you don't have to deal with challenges, and you're always going to have ups and downs. So why not prioritize your states of being and make sure that they are prioritized? Right on. So that was good. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for viewing my 9-month and 20-day check-in. That was spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically why you should quit nicotine. Of course, you guys are entitled to your own actions. Everyone's responsible for their own actions. And let me just say a few more things. I'm going to say a few more things about these states of being and why they're important to prioritize. So spiritually, you want to prioritize spiritually, because you never know what you are getting into exactly. So you can use your spiritual power to protect yourself in circumstances that are unknown, or that are that you just don't understand how they're going to play out. You can put that spiritual armor on you, and that's as long as you're stepping into your spiritual power and that you are activating your spirituality and continuing to use your spiritual senses and implement them. And physically, why is this state of being important to protect? Well, because this is your body, this is what houses the soul, and if you don't have this, then you don't have the experiences that you see around you. So that's why I always tell you guys, like, really pay attention to these states of being and how you are existing in these states of being, because look around you and realize that you want to experience more than you want to feel good all the time, more than you want to just feel 100%, feel amazing all the time. Mentally, why is it important to, protect and to exist in this state of being in the best ways that you can? Is because mentally, that's your mind power, that's your mental power, that's where all your thoughts will come, that's where all your ideas will come, that's where all your thoughts and reactional thoughts will happen in your mental state of being. And you want that to be as balanced as possible. Of course, you can use your state of being for different things and apply it to different things, but you always want to be able to have that mental strength, and you don't want to be mentally weak and be vulnerable when it's not the right time to be vulnerable, but be protected when it's not, and uptight when it's not the right time to be that way. So mentally being able to stay balanced is a good one. And then emotionally, why would you want to prioritize this state of being? Well, this goes without saying, because you experience emotions all the time, regardless of what's going on physically, what's going on spiritually and emotionally. Physically and mentally, you are going to be experiencing a vibe, you're going to be experiencing a mood, and it's up to you to be able to be the mature one, the emotionally mature one, who doesn't allow that to affect them, doesn't allow that to affect them so much that it then starts to rub off on other people in a negative way. In fact, quite the opposite. Have that strength, have that emotional maturity and strength to be able to rub off on other people and to help in ways that you can't even see it's helping, but you know that you're putting that out there, and if it's up to other people to be able to receive that and on there, take heed to what you're saying. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. So thank you guys for the support. That's going to be it for the 9-month and 20-day check-in. Peace.